Hello, and welcome to the channel. We are back. It's been a while. I've had some personal issues going off, but we are looking to get back to being a lot more frequent with the videos. And as you can tell from today's thumbnail, we are doing the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet solo run with Alolan Raichu. And this was kind of half chosen by myself and half chosen by my daughter after some issues with the Feebas run. The files got corrupted. I will do that eventually, but it was very difficult and very stressful, so I'm going to put that on a back burner for a bit. Now, Alolan Raichu's got a decent overall base stat total, especially with special defense and speed. And we've got a good set of moves we can learn. Psychic on evolution is fantastic because our Alolan Raichu is coming from Pokemon Go, so it's already fully evolved. It's all good. At the beginning of the game, we are going to choose Fuecoco just because I thought Grass Dark was a good opposite to Electric Psychic. I wish I didn't, for reasons we'll see a lot later down the line, but mainly Flower Trick if I'm being honest. And we start our mandatory battle with our starter before we get our Pokedex and can move Alolan Raichu over. Couple of fire moves are all it will take, and then Sprigatito will go down, and we can have a quick look at the TMs we can learn here. We meet Nemona outside the gates of Mesagoza next, with our Alolan Raichu actually being used now for our first major battle. We don't have to win this fight, but I choose to today because I prefer to win it than lose it, although I do think it is faster just to lose. After this, we can go through the rest of the tutorial, grab our 3 paths, which are the Path of Legends, the Champions Path and Team Stars Path, and we can finish the tutorial off with a time of 57 minutes overall, which is pretty good. Before we can take on the gym, we have to do the gym test, and the first gym test involves us pushing a giant olive through a course into a goal at the end, which is pretty easy to do. Our first gym leader is of course Katie, the bug type gym leader. We're at level 20 with a time of 1 hour 6 minutes, and we are holding the Wise Glasses. Katie leads off with a Nimble as we go for Terrestrialization, because of course Psychic is weak to Bug, one of its only weaknesses. We hit Thunderbolt, take the Nimble down in a single hit, before Katie then sends in her next Pokemon, which is Tarantula. Once again we outspeed, and a Thunderbolt is enough to take it down. Katie's ace Pokemon is of course Teddy Ursa. And after being upset that they're on their last Pokemon, they'll send it in. We're going to go for Thunderbolt as they are going to Terrestrialize to the Bug type. Every gym leader will Terrestrialize their final Pokemon to the type of the gym. It's just the mechanics of the game, I guess. Once Teddy Ursa has finished, we hit a Thunderbolt, taking it out, giving us our first gym badge without any problems. Our next stop is the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth, and we're still at level 20 here with a time of 1 hour 14 minutes, and we just go for a Psychic into it, taking a Vice Grip for a little bit of damage as Shoulder hits a Water Gun because Arven is with us, proccing Cloth's Anger Shell ability at this point, which I didn't want to do, but another Psychic, we do still outspeed, takes it down, and we get the win. I was a little bit concerned we wouldn't outspeed, but we did, and now we can dash around on Koraidon. Our second gym test involves us running around and collecting 10 Sunflora from across the city before we can challenge the next gym leader. Our next gym leader is of course Brassius, the grass type gym leader, and we are at level 21 with a time of 1 hour 26 minutes, and we're holding wise glasses still throughout all of this except for one fight, which I will let you know. Brassius's lead Petlil is taken out with a single Psychic before Smoliv comes in and gets taken down with a Psychic. This leaves Brassius with his ace Pokemon, Sudowoodo, which is going to terrestrialize to the grass type to become truly Woodo. Terrible joke, but it is part of the game. It is what he says. Once the Sudowoodo has terrestrialized, we won't be able to take it out in a single hit because it has Sturdy. So we hit into it, doing some damage, taking it very low as it goes for a Trailblaze into us, which boosts its speed. We're not sure here whether we're going to outspeed or not, but we do outspeed. We are very fast. I forget how fast Alolan Raichu is sometimes. But that is Sudowoodo defeated and our second gym badge of the run. Next up is the Titan Bombardier. It is of course a dark flying type, and we have Terra Electric. It's not a threat essentially at all. Arven obviously joins us with Natalie for this fight, which is probably the least helpful Pokemon Arven ever brings to a fight, but Thunderbolt brings the Bombardier down in one hit after terrestrializing. And that means we can now travel across water on our Koraidon. Iono's gym test is basically just playing hide and seek with Director Clavel. Once we've found Clavel 3 times, we are then able to challenge Iono. And Iono is usually a little bit more difficult. We have had a reset here. We've got a time of 1 hour 53 and we are at level 28. We reset against Iono's ace Pokemon at level 24, which weren't quite high enough. So we take the Wattrel out as it comes in, nothing too difficult. Terrestrialize against the Luxio because it has Bite, which is obviously a dark move, super effective. Hit a Psychic into it, taking it down. Iono will then send in her next Pokemon, being Bellibolt. We hit a Psychic into it, doing just over half, which is actually really good damage. Bellibolt is quite tanky. It does go for a Spark, but it's not enough damage into us, as another Psychic can then take Bellibolt down. This just leaves Iono with her ace Pokemon, which is of course Miss Magius, which has the Levitate ability, and when terrestrialized has no actual weaknesses. It doesn't have a great move pool though. I think it has Charge Beam, Hex, and Confuse, right? I can't remember what its other move is. It's not like overly difficult, but we hit Psychic into it once it's terrestrialized. As it hits us with Confuse Ray, we go for a Psychic again. We're not confused, well we are confused, but we don't hit ourselves, land the Psychic and take Iono out. And that gives us our third gym badge now. We're going to do a Team Star base now, and before we can do any of the Team Star bases we have to do the Star Rush, which is just auto battling 30 Pokemon within the base before challenging the leader. And the first one we're going to go up against today is Giacomo, the Dark type leader. We are at level 29 at this point with a time of 2 hours 9 minutes. Now Giacomo's only got 2 Pokemon at this point, a Pawniard which isn't particularly threatening, and of course the Starmobile, as all the Team Star leaders have a Starmobile for their ace Pokemon, with the Starmobile being the type of the Team Star base we are currently against. We've terrestrialized to get rid of our weakness to Dark, and we've picked up Focus Blast, being able to take out Pawniard very easily and doing massive damage into the Starmobile despite getting outsped. The Starmobile then goes for Metal Sound, lowering our special defense, but we land another Focus Blast, taking it out, giving us our first Team Star base beaten. Next up, we are over to the Steel Titan Orthworm. We're at level 29 still, with a time of 2 hours and 23 minutes at this point. And Alvin joins us with a Toedscool this time, as we land a Focus Blast into the Earthworm as it goes for Sandstorm. And Toedscool does Grass Knot, almost taking it out. The Sandstorm does make it more tanky, but not enough to survive, so a Thunderbolt does take it out on the next hit, and we've got the high jump ability when on Koraidon now. And next up is our 4th gym leader, Kofu. And I forgot to record Kofu's challenge because I did it a lot earlier, but it's basically just as winning an auction. And Kofu is of course the water type gym leader. We're at level 31 with a time of 2 hours 45 minutes. As Kofu leads off with Veluza, we terrestrialize, going for Thunderbolt, taking it down in a single hit. Kofu's next Pokemon is Wugtrio. This is very fast but very fragile. It does outspeed us, hits us with a headbutt as we get flinched, and another headbutt drops us very low. But Thunderbolt does take Wugtrio out of course, leaving Kofu with his ace Pokemon, which is Crabominable. Which is not bad, it's a fully evolved Pokemon. But he is going to terrestrialize it to the water type, and we are obviously super effective against it. It's never going to be much of a challenge beating the water with like an electric type or grass type or anything like that. Once that's done, we outspeed, hit Thunderbolt, and Crabominable is defeated in one hit, giving us our 4th gym badge. And next up is of course the Fire type Team Star leader Mela, and we are level 41 at this point with a time of 3 hours and 1 minute. And once we've beaten Mela, we are officially halfway through our collection of gym badges, Team Star and Titans. We are going to start the fight off by terrestrializing to boost our electric damage, as Mela leads off with Torkoal. Thunderbolt is enough to take Torkoal down in a single hit, leaving Mela with the Starmobile. And obviously this one is the Fire type one. It does have the Sun boosted its fire damage, which is very difficult to deal with sometimes. But we're going to go for a Thunderbolt after taking a Blazing Torque. It doesn't do a lot of damage, Luckily, as we do some good damage back, just over half, which means on the next turn, as long as we survive, even with the speed boost from the Starmobile, we will win. It does go for a Screech, which could be difficult if it was going to have another turn, but it's not, and we have beaten our second Team Starbase now. Larry's gym test is probably the easiest. It's selecting a menu item based on hints around the map, but it never changes, so once you know it, it's always going to be the same. Now, for the fight against Larry, we are at level 41 with a time of 3 hours 20 minutes. And Larry leads off, of course, with Kamala, as we're going to come in and terrestrialize so that we don't get hit with Sucker Punch, because at this point we've had a couple of resets. I'm pretty sure one of them was against Larry, but Focus Blast is enough to take Kamala out, leading to Larry's next Pokemon, the Dunsparce, which is a bit threatening. It does have Drill Run, which is super effective against us, but Focus Blast lands, takes it very low, as it does go through the Drill Run, dropping us very low. Luckily, it didn't go for the glare because we can't be paralyzed. And then we are left with Larry's ace Pokemon, which is Staraptor. And after the crowd in the restaurant getting super excited, pumping Larry up to get more motivated for the battle, because Larry, much like most middle-aged people, just lack energy. Trust me, I know. Larry will terrestrialize into the normal type, so we go for a Focus Blast again. Obviously Focus Blast can miss, and it is a bit risky to do, but it is also super effective and very strong. And finally, terrestrialization is coming out. I believe we are faster than Staraptor, so all we gotta do is land it and we can take the 5th gym badge. And there it is, 5th gym, and on to the next. Rhyme's gym test involves us having some double battles on the stage to warm the crowd up, get everything excited, as you can see, and then each time the crowd gets more and more hyped until Rhyme is ready to come in. Once Rhyme does come in, this is the double battle section of the game, and we've obviously got our Azurill with us for Splash. Very, very good. Can't underestimate the power of Splash. But we're going to start off by terrestrializing because Ghost is super effective against Psychic. Who would have guessed? We are at level 51 now with a time of 4 hours and 8 minutes. I always want to be around level 50 for this gym, because afterwards is when we can hyper train and things like that. Hyper training is very good because a lot of time I just breed a random Pokemon and hope for the best. Thunderbolt takes Burnett out, and because we've terrestrialized, we're going to get a Omni Boost from the crowd as Houndstone is sent in. Here it comes. They get very excited. The crowd gets very involved in this fight, which is nice, but it's quite time consuming. Once we go for our next attack, we're just going to go into Houndstone, take the Houndstone down. Basically, we just leave Mimikyu to last because it's got the least amount of damage it can do to us. It could hit us with, like, it can crit, and that's caused some losses in the past, don't get me wrong, but it's the least threatening of all the Pokemon. And Toxtricity is in next, which is, of course, Rhyme's ace Pokemon. It's going to terrestrialize to the Ghost type. We don't have anything super effective, so we're just going to keep going for Thunderbolts until it's gone down. We do get an Omni Boost for beating the Houndstone. We also get one for beating Toxtricity, I believe. but they're not Omni Boost. One's an attack boost, one's a speed boost. Here comes the Terastallization. And then, obviously, Thunderbolt, straight into it, takes it down. Just leaves Mimikyu left. So we can hit it with anything to break its Disguise ability on the next turn as we take a slash. We are down in the orange now, but it's not really that much of a threat. Also, if we do get too low, they will Shadow Sneak, which is super annoying. But Thunderbolt drops Mimikyu's Disguise. Another slash drops us. We're still high enough that Shadow Sneak won't kill, hopefully. Nope. And there we go. Mimikyu's beaten, and we've got 6 gym badges. Time to go do some vitamins, some bottle caps, and some nature mints. Next up is our third Team Star leader, the Poison leader, Atticus. And we're still at level 51 with a time of 4 hours, 27 minutes. And Atticus's lead Pokemon is, of course, Stuntank. Doesn't go for the Sucker Punch today. It normally does, but it didn't on this run. And it falls to a single Thunderbolt. Next up is Revavroom. It comes in because it's got the ground move, which we are weak to. But Psychic will be enough to take it down as a neutral hit. Then it's Muck next, which we are a little bit over leveled here, so I'm not worried about the base Pokemon. Muck will fall to a single Psychic. And with that, we are now down to the Starmobile. The Starmobiles do have higher stats than anything else, like around our level. So we're going to drop a Psychic into it. It is super effective with it being Poison type. It almost takes it down in a single hit on lower special defense, as they go for a Flame Charge, boosting the speed, but not really doing a lot of damage to us, so we're not worried. And we do take the Noxious Talk. It does poison us, but we've got enough HP that we're going to kill it now with Psychic. And that gives us our third Team Star base done. Coming straight from the Team Star base with a time of 4 hours and 57 now. I think that, no, 37, sorry, I couldn't read my own handwriting now. And still at level 51. We are up against Great Tusk. It goes for a rapid spin after we've hit it with Psychic, almost taking it out, and Scovillain hits it with a Scary Face, lowering its speed again. We're faster, there is a Sandstorm, but we don't take enough damage, and that is Great Tusk beaten, and the ability to glide around on Koraidon now. We are now on to my least favourite gym test. And it is the emotional spectrum, where you basically have to follow the Pokemon doing the actions of emotions. It takes forever, it drives me insane. I can't say anything else about it. With the ESP done, we can now challenge Tulip, the Psychic type gym leader. We are at level 53 with a time of 4 hours 55 minutes, and we've leveled up against Nemona in the fight forest, and from Great Tusk we've not gone out of our way to level. And we Terastallize at the start of the fight against Farigarath as Thunderbolt takes it down. Terra boosting the power of the moves you're using is so useful. Godvar's in next, and it's not quite taken down with a Thunderbolt as it hits a Psychic into us, doing a little bit of damage but not too much, and we go for another Thunderbolt. After that is a Spaffra, I believe. Yep. I always think it's flying type when I look at it, but I know it's not. We do outspeed it, hit it with a Thunderbolt, and take it down. And this leaves us with Tulip's ace Pokemon, which is Florges. And it is going to terrestrialize, of course, into the Psychic type. I don't mind this gym fight, I just really don't like this gym challenge, by the way. Like, the battle itself is fine, it's neither here nor there. Now that the terrestrialization done, Thunderbolt lands, and we don't take it out in one hit, as we take a Moonblast for quite big damage. But as we're faster, second Thunderbolt will take it down, and that is 7 gym badges complete now. Our final gym test is just us sliding down a mountain on Koraidon within a set time to be able to challenge the gym leader, Grusha. And Grusha leads off with Frostmoth as we start the fight at level 55 with a time of 5 hours 6 minutes. We do start off by terrestrializing, as always, and going for Thunderbolt into the Moth. We do need to take the Moth out because if it tailwinds or sets up the snow, we lose. But we do take it out in a single hit. We have to be careful because both Titan and Beartic have access to ground moves. As we go for a Focus Blast into the Beartic, taking it down without any real issue. As I said, the next Pokemon up is Titan. It does have Earthquake, Ice Spinner, Liquidation, I think, and what else? And we do miss as it goes for a Ice Spinner, taking it to about half as another Focus Blast is enough to take it out, leaving Grusha with only their ace Pokemon left at this point, which is Altaria. And as always, it is going to terrestrialize into the Ice type in this case. Once it's done that, we should be faster than it. We've not had any speed drops, although the Raichu is very fast. And we hit the Focus Blast, luckily, taking it very low, but not quite enough. As Dragon Pulse hits us, but doesn't take us out, and we go for a Thunderbolt, just to ensure that we do win, giving us all 8 gym badges now completed. Now that we have all of our gym badges complete, let's go and finish off our Titans at this point. The final Titan is, of course, Tatsugiri. After beating Dondozo, which were an electric type against a water type, it was not a challenge. We're at level 56 with a time of 5 hours and 16 minutes. We start off the fight with Arven and Greedent with us. Greedent goes for takedown. We go for Psychic after taking Muddy Waters and also Icy Wind, lowering our speed. We do enough damage to bring it very low, and Greedent's takedown finishes Tatsugiri off, meaning we can now climb up walls with Koraidon. Our next stops are, of course, our final Team Star bases, and we're starting off with Ortega. We're at level 57 with a time of 5 hours and 31 minutes, and Ortega is a Fairy type specialist. Their lead, Azumarill, is taken out with a Thunderbolt as Darkspawn comes in, and we don't terrestrialize against the Azumarill because we want to bait the Dark move into Raichu now from the Dark Spawn if it lives, which after terrestrialization and the Thunderbolt hitting, we do take it out in a single hit, leading to Ortega's next Pokemon, which is Wigglytuff. We don't switch out, I press the wrong button. I hate the fact that I can't just put it on set. But we go for Thunderbolt into Wigglytuff, outspeeding, taking it very, very low as we take a Play Rough, doing a little bit of damage but not too much into us. We finish it off with a Psychic just because why not at this point, but it's not really anything would have done the job, as none of the trainers in these fights actually heal their Pokemon, unlike in previous games where they'd use like full restores or potions during it. The Starmobile comes in, it is Fairy, it sets up Misty Terrain which stops any like status, as we do about a third and take a Steel Roller, getting rid of the terrain, going for another Thunderbolt, doing big damage, taking it down very close to beaten. We take a Mystic Talk, leaving us on 1 HP and confused. And if we hit, we don't have to reset. But if we didn't, we would have reset and done this again. We do hit, taking it out, giving us our 4th Team Star beater. Our final team star base is of course Airy, and we are at level 63 with a time of 5 hours 59 minutes. And Airy is a fighting type trainer, so finally something our psychic type moves actually benefit us with. We do terrestrialize because Toxicroak has Sucker Punch, and also Annihilate is part Ghost and can hit us with Rage Fist very, very hard. We go for the Psychic into Toxicroak, not taking a Sucker Punch, but we have previously, and on most other runs we take a Sucker Punch, as Persimmon is then sent in. We go for Psychic into Persimmon, and it is enough to take it down in a single hit. Annihilate is up next, and Psychic hits. We are a range here, but we do get the KO. It was a range, just from our previous attempt. As Lucario comes in as the final Pokemon, we go for Focus Blast here, hoping we don't miss, as this is a special attack in Lucario as well, but Focus Blast is super effective, leaving only the Starmobile left, and it is of course a fighting type one. It has the stamina ability which won't affect us because we're not physically attacking it, we're hitting it on the special side. We go for a Psychic, doing big damage into it as it goes for high horsepower, dropping us very, very low. But another Psychic is enough to beat it as we outspeed it. And that is all of our gyms, Titans and Team Star bases beaten now. We are up now against Champion Gita. We've done the Elite Four starting at level 70 when we went in, and we're now at level 78 with a time of 7 hours and 47 minutes. Gita starts the fight off with a Sparfra, which we take down with a Thunderbolt. Avalugg comes in and we miss a Focus Blast because we're just unlucky as we get hit with an Earthquake. We have got Nasty Plot. We needed it for the dragons, but Focus Blast now takes out the Avalugg, as Gita will then send in their next Pokemon, which is King Gambit, and we need to land another Focus Blast here because it is 4 times weak to it. But we're also going to terrestrialize to the normal type. We did change our Terra because there was no way we could beat the first of the Elite Four members without changing our Terra. We do land the Focus Blast, taking King Gambit down. And this leads to Go-Goat coming in. We are going to go for Psychic into it. It's not going to be enough. Oh, it is with a crit. It's going to be enough. I didn't think it was enough. I think we did have a reset against Gita where it wasn't enough for us to win. And Veluza, but we hadn't Terran at the time, so we took more damage. Is taken out with Thunderbolt, sorry. And that just leaves Gita with their ace Pokemon now, I believe, which is Glimmora. And it is going to terrestrialize to the Rock type. The only Rock type terrestrialization in the game as far as I remember. We should do a Rock type terrestrialization at one point. But the next one I am planning to do has already been set up. We are outspeed Glimmora, hit it with a Focus Blast and take it out. And that is the champion Gita complete. Right. Next fight is to finish off the Path of Titans. And it is, of course, Arven. And we're at level 79 with a time of 7 hours 56. We're holding a Lumberry in this fight because we got status and not caused us to lose last time. But we start off with a Focus Blast into the Greedent. Arven's team is made up of the fully evolved versions of the Pokemon he used during the fights against the Titans. So Garganacle's next, we learnt Grass Knot, very good move for us for that. We take it down in a single hit. It was the Toadstool, it spoiled me, that's what we needed the Lumberry for. But we land a Psychic, doing about half into it. Doesn't go for Spore this time, goes for Power Whip. Do outspeed and take it down on the next turn. Arven's then going to send in Scovillain, and we're just going to Psychic. We don't have anything super effective into it. It does big damage, taking it out, leading to Cloyster, which is of course weak to our Thunderbolt, which we're going to hit, take it down, leaving Arven with his ace Pokemon Mabostiff. And it's going to terrestrialize to the Dark type. So we're going to go for a Focus Blast, hoping to hit, of course, always hoping to hit Focus Blast, because they're not the most accurate. Once the terrestrialization is over, we do land the Focus Blast, and we do take it out in a single hit. And that is Arven done, and the Path of Legends is now complete. Our next battle is Penny to finish off the Team Starfall Street storyline, and we're at level 80, back to holding our Wise Glasses with a time of 8 hours and 9 minutes. Penny uses the evolutions for their team, starting off with Umbreon, so we hit terrestrialization, go for Focus Blast into the Umbreon, taking it down in a single hit before Flareon is then sent in. We have Surf, we go for it, and it does take the Flareon down, leading to Vaporeon next. Vaporeon's taken down with a Thunderbolt. So far we've got a move for each of the evolutions, but that won't last for much longer. We've only got 4 moves, and there's more than 4 evolutions. Jolteon is up next. We go for Psychic, taking it down, outspeed him, because Jolteon is quite fast, so it's quite good that we did outspeed. And in comes Leafeon, which also gets hit with a Psychic and taken down. This leaves Penny with their ace Pokemon, which is Sylveon, and is going to terrestrialize into the Fairy type. We go for a Thunderbolt, kind of half hoping for a paralysis, half hoping for some really good damage into it. Because Sylveon is bulky, but it's also got very good special attack. Once the terrestrialization is done, we do hit a Thunderbolt. It does less than half, as we get hit with the Moonblast, doing a decent amount of damage to us, but still less than half. We then go for another Thunderbolt, and we hit a high roll, or we hit a low roll in the first one, we don't know which, but that does take Sylveon down, meaning we've finished a second path now. The final path before we can go down to Area 0 that we need to complete is the Path of Champions. And of course that means battling Nemona, now that we are both champion ranked. We're at level 81 with a time of 8 hours 22 minutes. And we are going to start off by terrestrializing at the start of the fight against the Lycanroc and going for a nasty plot. We take the draw one very well at this point and take Lycanroc out with a Surf. I know Nasty Plot feels kind of cheap, but because of Flower Trick being a guaranteed crit, there was no way I could do this without Nasty Plot. We then Psychic the Pawmo that comes in. I mean, we could have done it, but it would have been like being at level 100, which would have felt less genuine than actually being at the level we are. Orthworm is taken out with a Focus Blast. As long as we don't miss, everything here is a one-shot. Apart from maybe Goodra. It has been well over a month since I finished this video, so I don't actually remember. We do miss the Focus Blast as Hyper Drill hits us from the Dunsparce, but we hit the next one, taking it down. And next up is the Goodra. We go for a Psychic into it. It does take it down in a single hit, leaving Nemona with their ace Pokemon, which is of course Meowscarada, as they had Sprigatito at the beginning. Meowscarada is going to terrestrialize to be pure grass, so Focus Blast just wouldn't do the damage needed. I have tried, believe me. So we just go for a Psychic, as it won't be immune to it once it's terrestrialized. Outspeeding it, taking it down, and giving us all of our paths complete, meaning we can go into the depths of Area 0 to finish our run off now. Alolan Raichu's last fight of the game is against AI Sada. We're at level 82 with a time of 9 hours 7 minutes, and for the final time using the Wise Glasses. Sada uses all Paradox Pokemon, started off with Slitherwing, which we beat with a Psychic, and they get mad that we know the typings of the Pokemon. Next up is Brute Bonnet, which is where we are going to terrestrialize, I believe. Yep, because it does have the dark moves. It also has Spore, which is super annoying. But with the Terra Normal in, we can go for a Nasty Plot so that we can take out the rest of the team. Dodging Spore, hitting a Focus Blast, taking down the Brute Bonnet. This gives us Scream Tail next. That Nasty Plot was important because Scream Tail is very bulky. And we take it out with a Thunderbolt. We've got Fluttermane next, which is very, very fast. I'm not sure if we're going to outspeed. We go for a Thunderbolt, we do outspeed, take it down. After that should be a Sandy Shocks. And there it is. We go for a Psychic into it. Round Electric. It always looks Steel. I always think Steel because of the Magnemite line, but it's not. And this leaves Sada with their ace Pokemon, Roaring Moon. And we have to land the Focus Blast here to be able to outspeed it. We haven't taken any damage yet this run, but I don't know if we could survive. We do go for the Focus Blast, land it, and take it out, meaning Alolan Raichu has officially completed the solo run video. As the Koraidons battle it out to see which one is better. Spoiler, it's always ours. It's a pretty scripted fight. I don't think you can lose. Might try it one day, but not while I'm on a challenge for time-wise. Let's talk about Alolan Raichu. It's been a while since I actually did this run, so what I remember of it was the beginning was very easy. The middle was quite difficult, and then the end seemed to be quite easy again. I think there was a point where I started to struggle and was like, this is more difficult than I thought it would be. But overall it was a fun run. Looking back over the footage of it, you see some very clever plays at times, but some, like, I don't like nasty plot. I don't like just buffing my stats to win, but it's either that or level up in some cases, and I think nasty plot is better than just going to level 100. I think most Pokemon at level 100 can do these, so I think having the lower kind of defenses, HP and stuff, is more of a challenge than just being level 100. I could be wrong and people could disagree with me, that's fine as well. Our total time was 9 hours and 28 minutes after the credits have rolled, which is overall pretty quick. A little bit fast, about half an hour faster than Pikachu, maybe 40 minutes. Faster than Cerulean. Not faster than Armarouge though. Armarouge was very good, surprisingly. About on par with Yanmega, and I put it about on par with Yanmega in terms of difficulty. Obviously nothing's touched Mewtwo's run yet, but I don't expect anything too either. So this is also the last video I've done on the Switch before moving over to my Switch 2. So every video after this will be on the Switch 2. And the next one is going to be Mew, because it was requested straight after I did the Mewtwo run. But we didn't have Mew at the time. Now I do, a level 1 one. So yeah, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please, if you've enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe.